In the complex world of dating and relationships, it's easy to get swept up in emotions and overlook the things that truly matter: your time, mental peace, and overall well-being. There's nothing more disheartening than realizing you've been played by someone who isn't fully invested in you, leaving you feeling confused, drained, and questioning your worth. Whether you're navigating a romantic relationship or a friendship, understanding the signs of manipulation is key to protecting yourself and your emotional health. In this video, we're going to explore 7 red flags that a girl might be playing you through the lens of Stoic wisdom. The Stoic philosophy, embraced by thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, teaches us to master our emotions, maintain inner calm, and focus on what we can control. This ancient wisdom isn't just for conquering life's biggest challenges, but also for maintaining clarity and peace when navigating tricky relationship dynamics. By applying Stoic principles, you'll be able to see through subtle manipulation and avoid wasting your time on someone who isn't bringing the same level of commitment or respect to the table. From mixed signals to boundary-pushing behavior, these signs are clear indicators that someone might not have your best interests at heart. Stoicism encourages us to value ourselves enough to walk away from relationships that drain our energy, confidence, and growth. In this video, we'll break down the 7 signs that a girl may not be serious about you and how adopting a Stoic mindset can empower you to avoid toxic patterns and protect your emotional peace. Stick with us, and let's explore how you can guard your time and energy by recognizing these manipulative behaviors early on. Number 1. She exhibits unpredictable engagement in the relationship. When it comes to relationships, stability is essential. The foundation of any meaningful connection is built on consistent actions, words, and emotional availability. If someone is frequently inconsistent in their level of interest or engagement, it signals that they may not be as invested in the relationship as they initially appeared. From a Stoic perspective, such behavior is a clear sign of disrespect for your emotional resources and time, and it's important to identify it early on to avoid unnecessary emotional exhaustion. At the start, everything might seem perfect. She might shower you with attention, communicate openly, and make you feel seen and valued. But as time passes, the consistency fades, and you start noticing erratic behavior. One day she's affectionate and engaged. The next she pulls away without any explanation. This back and forth can leave you feeling confused and uncertain, questioning whether you've done something wrong or if something has changed. From a Stoic standpoint, someone who genuinely values you won't leave you in a state of doubt about their feelings. Their actions will align with their words, and their interest will remain steady over time. Inconsistency, on the other hand, disrupts your emotional peace and goes against the Stoic principle of self-sufficiency, where your worth is not dependent on external validation. When a person is hot and cold, it often suggests they're not fully committed to the relationship or to you. This erratic behavior can feel like an emotional roller coaster. One moment you're on top of the world, receiving attention and affection, and the next you're left in the dark, wondering what happened. This type of emotional turmoil is exhausting and a red flag that the person may be testing your boundaries, playing games, or even keeping their options open. Psychologically speaking, this type of inconsistency is often a manipulation tactic. By creating uncertainty, they may be trying to control your emotional state and keep you hooked. In these situations, they're gauging how much attention and affection they can receive from you without reciprocating. The aim is usually to maintain power over your emotions and keep you invested, even if they're not truly invested themselves. A Stoic approach, however, would encourage you to recognize your worth and not waste your emotional energy on someone who doesn't bring stability or consistency into your life. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our actions, our choices, and our responses. You can't change someone else's behavior, but you can decide how much you're willing to invest in a relationship that doesn't offer the same level of commitment or respect in return. When faced with inconsistency, a Stoic would remain composed and objective. Rather than becoming frustrated, anxious, or confused, you should step back and assess the situation with clarity. Ask yourself if this behavior is in alignment with your values and your vision of a healthy, balanced relationship. If not, it may be time to detach emotionally and move on to a connection that fosters stability and mutual respect. Ultimately, the Stoic philosophy encourages us to prioritize our inner peace and emotional equilibrium over external factors, like someone's fluctuating interest. If a person's behavior doesn't reflect your worth or the commitment you deserve, it's a sign to shift your focus inward and protect your own emotional well-being. Your time and energy are valuable. Don't settle for inconsistency when you deserve someone who values you consistently. By recognizing these signs of unpredictability early, you give yourself the opportunity to protect your emotional health and move forward with greater clarity. Remember, a stoic mindset helps you navigate these situations with strength, ensuring you don't let someone else's emotional instability affect your personal growth and peace of mind. Number two, she dodges important conversations. One of the biggest red flags that someone may not have genuine intentions is their consistent avoidance of important discussions. At the core of any solid relationship, whether romantic, professional, or platonic, is communication. Open, honest, and meaningful conversations are essential for building trust, deepening understanding, and fostering mutual respect. If she consistently steers clear of these crucial topics, it could be a sign that she's either emotionally disengaged or playing games with you. From a Stoic perspective, this behavior is a refusal to embrace responsibility and emotional depth. Stoicism teaches us to approach challenges with clarity and courage, not to shy away from them. Difficult conversations are not obstacles but opportunities for growth and mutual understanding. In relationships, avoiding these conversations is a sign of immaturity or a lack of real commitment. A Stoic would understand that true connections require both vulnerability and honesty, even when the topics at hand are uncomfortable. When someone repeatedly avoids serious matters, it can leave you feeling as though you're never truly getting to know them. Whether you try to discuss your relationship's future, your emotions, or establish boundaries, she may quickly change the subject or deflect with jokes or distractions. This can create a one-sided dynamic where you're the only one putting in the effort to deepen the connection. From a Stoic point of view, this isn't a reflection of your value or the strength of the relationship, but rather a signal that the other person isn't willing to engage deeply. Stoicism teaches us not to waste time on relationships that lack honesty and genuine understanding. If someone consistently avoids serious discussions, it points to emotional immaturity and reluctance to commit, traits that shouldn't be tolerated by someone who values emotional growth. People who are emotionally mature understand the importance of facing tough topics. Whether it's talking about feelings, fears, or long-term goals, these conversations are the building blocks of a meaningful relationship. If she's constantly avoiding these essential talks, it can leave you feeling disconnected or questioning her true intentions. Over time, this uncertainty can breed frustration and confusion, making you wonder whether she's emotionally unavailable or simply uninterested in deepening the relationship. Avoidance can also be a form of emotional manipulation. If she's keeping you in the dark or leaving you unsure of where you stand, this could be a tactic to maintain control. By withholding emotional openness, she can keep you guessing, creating a power imbalance in the relationship. Additionally, avoiding vulnerability, an essential component of intimacy, may signal that she's not willing to invest emotionally in the relationship, leaving you feeling disconnected and unimportant. In Stoic philosophy, vulnerability is not a flaw but a source of strength. It's the courage to confront difficult topics and share one's true feelings, which ultimately strengthens bonds. Avoiding serious conversations, however, is a refusal to engage in that process and a barrier to any meaningful connection. A Stoic would recognize that enduring these challenges, even when uncomfortable, is vital for a relationship to grow and endure. If you're consistently met with avoidance when trying to engage in meaningful dialogue, it's important to take a step back and evaluate whether this behavior aligns with your values. Relationships built on avoidance cannot develop the trust, respect, and understanding necessary for long-term success. A Stoic would reflect on whether this relationship supports their emotional well-being and growth. If it doesn't, it may be time to let go and preserve your peace of mind. The Stoic approach encourages you to focus on what you can control: your actions, your responses, and your emotional boundaries. If someone is unwilling to have tough conversations with you, it's likely they aren't as emotionally invested in the relationship as you are. Recognizing this early on allows you to protect your emotional peace and avoid wasting time on a relationship that isn't founded on transparency and mutual respect. By embracing a stoic mindset, you can remain steady and calm in the face of uncertainty. If she consistently avoids serious conversations, it's a clear sign that the relationship might not be as fulfilling or authentic as you deserve. Recognizing this early helps you protect your emotional well-being and ensures you don't settle for less than a deep, meaningful connection. Number 3, she only contacts you when it's convenient for her. One of the most obvious signs that someone might not have genuine intentions is when they only reach out to you on their terms, when it's convenient for them. Healthy relationships, whether romantic or platonic, are built on mutual effort and respect. A key way to gauge someone's true interest is by observing their consistency in reaching out. If someone only contacts you when they need something or when it fits their schedule, it's a clear signal of emotional manipulation and a lack of real commitment. From a Stoic perspective, this behavior reflects an unhealthy dynamic where the emotional balance is skewed. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our own responses, actions, and emotional states, and to remain indifferent to the behavior of others when it's beyond our control. If someone is only reaching out when it suits them, they are essentially taking advantage of your emotional availability without reciprocating it. The Stoic principle of emotional self-sufficiency becomes key here. We must not rely on others for validation, but rather maintain our own inner peace and dignity, regardless of external behavior. When someone only contacts you when it's convenient, it often leaves you feeling uncertain and undervalued. You might find yourself wondering why they're not reaching out more often, or why their communication feels so one-sided. Often they may only show interest when they're bored, lonely, or need something from you, be it attention, validation, or emotional support. Once they've received what they wanted, however, they may disappear again, leaving you feeling used and questioning the authenticity of the connection. This unpredictable back-and-forth dynamic can be draining. It creates an emotional imbalance where you may feel like you're constantly putting in more effort than the other person. This lack of consistency can be frustrating and confusing, leaving you wondering if they truly care about you or if you're simply a backup plan when they have nothing else going on. It's essential to recognize that you deserve someone who reaches out because they genuinely care about you, not just when it's convenient or when they need something from you. Psychologically, this type of behavior is often a sign of emotional immaturity or someone who is deliberately playing games to maintain control. They reach out when it benefits them, when they need validation or attention, but they fail to offer the same energy or effort when the situation is reversed. This one-sided effort is not based on mutual respect or care, but rather on using you as a convenient source of emotional support when it's needed. From a Stoic viewpoint, the appropriate response is emotional detachment and self-reflection. Rather than reacting with frustration or confusion, a Stoic would assess the situation objectively, acknowledging that while you can't control her behavior, you can control your own reactions. If someone is only reaching out when it's convenient for them, it's a clear indication of their priorities. If you aren't one of them, it's time to reevaluate how much energy and time you're willing to invest in this relationship. Stoicism teaches us to value our time and emotional energy. The more you recognize this imbalance, the easier it becomes to detach from the unhealthy dynamic and protect your peace. Instead of continuing to chase after someone who isn't fully invested, you can focus on maintaining your self-worth and dignity. You deserve a relationship where both people are equally invested in each other's lives and well-being, not one where you're only valued when it suits their needs. By detaching emotionally from these one-sided dynamics, you also open the door to more fulfilling connections. Recognizing this behavior early allows you to redirect your energy towards relationships where there is mutual respect, effort, and care. In conclusion, if you notice that a girl only reaches out to you when it's convenient for her, it's a major red flag that should not be overlooked. By adopting a Stoic mindset, you can maintain emotional balance, detach from unhealthy patterns, and make choices that preserve your emotional well-being. Remember, you deserve relationships that are built on mutual respect, where both people are genuinely invested in each other, not just when it's convenient or beneficial for one person. Number 4, she manipulates you with mind games. One of the most damaging behaviors you can encounter in any relationship is when someone plays mind games. These games are designed to mess with your emotions, create confusion, and keep you in a constant state of uncertainty. The ultimate goal of mind games is usually to gain control over you or get what they want without being transparent about their intentions. If a girl is playing mind games with you, it's a clear indicator that she's not being genuine, and more importantly, that she's manipulating your emotions for her own benefit. Recognizing these tactics early is crucial in protecting your mental and emotional well-being. From a Stoic standpoint, the key to maintaining emotional peace and resilience is learning how to stay grounded and unaffected by external manipulations. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can control how we react to them. Mind games are designed to destabilize your emotions, but the Stoic approach is to not allow these tactics to throw you off balance. Mind games often manifest in behaviors like being hot and cold, sending mixed signals, or making you question your thoughts and feelings. One moment, she could be sweet, attentive, and affectionate, and the next she could pull away, act distant, or even rude. This emotional roller coaster creates a confusing dynamic that leaves you constantly on edge, trying to figure out where you stand. Over time, these shifts in behavior can leave you feeling emotionally drained, frustrated, and disrespected. It makes you question your own worth and whether the relationship is truly balanced. From a Stoic perspective, this is where boundaries become essential. Boundaries represent your self-respect and integrity. Stoicism teaches us that we must hold firm to our principles, no matter how others act. If someone respects your boundaries only when it benefits them, it's a sign of emotional immaturity and selfishness. The Stoic approach here is to recognize that your boundaries are non-negotiable. They are vital for maintaining emotional peace, and you can't allow anyone to undermine them, no matter how much they may try to manipulate you. A Stoic would calmly set and enforce their boundaries without feeling guilty or pressured to adjust them for someone else's convenience. If a person disregards your boundaries or only acknowledges them when it's advantageous to them, the Stoic response would be to step back and evaluate the relationship. You might need to have a direct conversation about your needs, but the Stoic mindset might also prompt you to walk away if the behavior doesn't change. Your emotional peace is far more important than staying in a relationship where your boundaries aren't respected. The Stoic philosophy also emphasizes emotional independence. If you find yourself constantly defending your boundaries or justifying your needs, it may be a signal to reassess the relationship. The Stoic response here is to prioritize your own emotional health, detach from manipulative behaviors, and ensure that the relationships you invest in align with your values, especially those of respect, honesty, and consistency. In conclusion, if a girl only respects your boundaries when it's convenient for her, it's a major warning sign that shouldn't be ignored. From a Stoic perspective, relationships should be built on mutual respect, and boundaries should always be honored. If they're not, the relationship is not conducive to emotional stability or growth. Recognizing manipulative behaviors early gives you the clarity you need to make decisions that protect your emotional well-being and ensures that you invest your time and energy in relationships that truly respect your values. Number 5, she keeps you guessing about her true feelings. One of the most frustrating signs that someone may be playing you is when they consistently keep you guessing about how they feel. A girl who is emotionally unavailable or unsure of what she wants may keep you in a state of uncertainty, sending mixed signals and leaving you wondering if she truly cares about you. This constant confusion can create emotional turbulence and prevent you from fully understanding where you stand in the relationship. From a Stoic standpoint, this behavior is not only draining, but also contrary to the Stoic principles of clarity and emotional self-sufficiency. Stoicism teaches that we should seek clarity in our relationships and avoid becoming entangled in unnecessary emotional turmoil. When someone keeps you guessing, it places you in a position where you feel emotionally unstable, and you may begin to seek external validation, which ultimately leads to dissatisfaction. A girl who truly values you and is committed to building a genuine connection will communicate her feelings clearly and consistently. She won't leave you questioning her intentions or wondering whether you're truly a priority in her life. If her actions and words frequently contradict each other, or if she disappears for long periods, only to reappear with no explanation, this is a red flag that she may not be fully invested in the relationship. This type of uncertainty can lead to frustration, as you may find yourself continuously trying to interpret her behavior, questioning whether her feelings are real or whether you're just another option. Psychologically, playing with someone's emotions by keeping them guessing is a form of emotional manipulation. By making you uncertain about where you stand, she can maintain control over you and keep you hooked while not offering the emotional commitment you deserve. This is a manipulative tactic often used to keep someone emotionally invested without giving them the security or reassurance that comes with mutual commitment. From a Stoic perspective, this behavior is a sign of emotional immaturity or selfishness. The Stoic mindset encourages you to value your emotional peace and not allow anyone's inconsistency to disrupt your inner balance. If you constantly feel uncertain about where you stand with her, it's crucial to detach emotionally and recognize that you deserve someone who can offer clear communication and emotional stability. A Stoic would respond by recognizing the mixed signals for what they are and choosing to maintain emotional equilibrium by not investing in someone who cannot provide the clarity and respect that a healthy relationship requires. It's important to remember that you have control over your response to this situation. A Stoic would not allow the confusion and emotional instability to throw them off course. Instead, they would focus on their own emotional growth and well-being, understanding that you deserve someone who respects you enough to be honest about their feelings and intentions. If a girl is constantly leaving you guessing about her true feelings, it's a reflection of her lack of emotional maturity and commitment to the relationship. Long-term emotional uncertainty is not conducive to a fulfilling relationship. If you find yourself in a situation where you are consistently uncertain about her feelings, it's important to reassess the relationship. You may want to have a direct conversation to seek clarity, but if the behavior doesn't change, a Stoic would advise you to let go of the emotional attachment and move on. Protecting your emotional health and peace of mind is paramount. In conclusion, if a girl is constantly keeping you guessing about how she feels, it's a clear sign that she is not fully committed to the relationship and may be emotionally unavailable. From a Stoic perspective, emotional clarity and stability are vital for any healthy connection. And if you're being left in the dark about her true feelings, it's a red flag. Embrace the Stoic principle of emotional resilience, remain detached from the confusion, and choose to invest your energy in relationships where clear communication and mutual respect are the foundation. Number 6. She uses you as an emotional backup. One of the most emotionally draining and manipulative behaviors in a relationship is when someone uses you as an emotional backup. This behavior typically involves someone keeping you around not because they are genuinely invested in you, but because they view you as a safety net, someone to rely on when they're feeling insecure, lonely, or when their primary relationships are under strain. But when they're in a better emotional space or more interested in other parts of their life, they'll disappear or neglect your emotional needs entirely. From a Stoic perspective, it's vital to recognize when you are being used for someone else's emotional convenience. Stoicism emphasizes emotional resilience and self-sufficiency, meaning that we must maintain our inner peace regardless of the actions of others. If someone is treating you like an emotional backup, it's essential to recognize that their behavior reflects their lack of emotional maturity, not your worth. When a girl uses you as an emotional backup, it shows a disregard for the balance and fairness that healthy relationships are built upon. You may notice that she reaches out to you when things aren't going well in her life, perhaps when she's feeling insecure, lonely, or disconnected from her primary relationships. In these times, she may lean on you for comfort and validation. But when she's feeling emotionally secure or engaged elsewhere, she might pull away, leaving you to navigate the relationship on your own. This emotional manipulation creates an imbalance where your emotional availability is taken for granted and your needs are ignored. Psychologically, this dynamic is a form of emotional exploitation. You are left in a perpetual state of uncertainty where you're expected to be there for her when it's convenient for her, but she's absent when you need the same level of emotional support. This lack of reciprocity can leave you feeling drained, frustrated, and unappreciated. You may even find yourself constantly waiting for her to reach out, while she remains distant or indifferent when you're emotionally vulnerable. From a Stoic perspective, the key is to remain detached and approach the situation with clarity and self-respect. Stoicism teaches that we cannot control the behavior of others, but we can control how we respond to them. If you recognize that you are being used as an emotional backup, it's important to take a step back, set healthy boundaries, and stop allowing your emotional needs to be disregarded. Maintaining self-awareness and self-respect is central to the Stoic approach. Stoicism encourages us to cultivate virtues like wisdom, courage, and justice, and that includes knowing when to step away from relationships that do not honor us as equals. If someone uses you as an emotional backup, they are not giving you the care and respect you deserve. Allowing this behavior to continue compromises your emotional stability and well-being. The Stoic path is about recognizing your own value, maintaining your inner peace, and making choices that protect your mental health and emotional happiness. Moreover, emotional reciprocity is essential in any relationship. Healthy relationships are built on mutual support. Both individuals should contribute to each other's emotional well-being. If you find yourself constantly giving emotional support without receiving the same in return, it creates an unhealthy dynamic. The Stoic approach would be to calmly recognize the imbalance, assert your needs, and set boundaries to prevent further exploitation. If she continues to take advantage of your emotional availability without offering the same consideration, it may be time to reconsider the relationship. In conclusion, if a girl uses you as an emotional backup, it signals a lack of genuine investment in the relationship and emotional immaturity. From a Stoic perspective, your emotional independence and self-worth should never depend on someone who only values you in moments of emotional need. The Stoic response would be to maintain your sense of inner peace, set clear boundaries, and prioritize your emotional well-being. By doing so, you ensure that you are investing in relationships where respect, care, and emotional reciprocity are central, and avoid the emotional drain of being used as a backup. Number 7, she gives you mixed signals. One of the most frustrating and emotionally exhausting behaviors a girl can display in a relationship is sending mixed signals. Mixed signals can leave you questioning her true feelings, constantly second-guessing whether she's truly interested or invested in you. This inconsistency can create a state of emotional confusion, where you're always unsure of where you stand in the relationship. It's essential to recognize this behavior early, as it is often a sign of emotional manipulation or a lack of genuine commitment. From a Stoic perspective, clarity and understanding are essential for inner peace. Mixed signals disturb our ability to act with clarity and reason, disrupting our emotional balance. Stoicism teaches us to control our reactions to external circumstances and to focus on preserving our inner calm. If you allow uncertainty to affect your emotional state, it becomes harder to maintain the peace that Stoicism encourages. Mixed signals can manifest in various ways. For example, a girl might be distant one moment and overly affectionate the next. She might text you frequently, only to go silent for days without explanation. At times, she may seem fully engaged in the relationship, showing care, attention, and interest, only to pull back or become emotionally distant without any clear reason. This back and forth creates confusion and leaves you wondering about her true feelings and intentions. A common pattern of mixed signals is the hot and cold dynamic. She shows interest when it's convenient for her or when she's feeling lonely, but disappears when things are going well in other areas of her life. She may reach out when she needs comfort or validation, but when she's distracted or happy elsewhere, she seems indifferent or unresponsive. This pattern of behavior keeps you guessing and can leave you feeling emotionally uncertain. The Stoic response to mixed signals is to remain detached and emotionally clear. While it's natural to want answers or closure, Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control others' actions or emotions. What we can control is how we respond to these actions. If a person is sending you mixed signals, the Stoic approach is to take a step back, assess the situation calmly, and recognize that someone who cannot express clear intentions is not offering you the respect or certainty you deserve. By detaching from the emotional confusion, you avoid letting mixed signals dictate your emotional well-being. The Stoic ideal of virtue encourages you to maintain your integrity and self-respect. If someone is unclear about their emotions or intentions, it suggests they may not be emotionally mature or invested in the relationship in a meaningful way. Rather than wasting energy trying to decode mixed signals, a Stoic would focus on cultivating their own inner strength and clarity. This approach leaves room for healthy, balanced relationships where both parties are open, honest, and clear about their feelings and intentions. Another important aspect of mixed signals is that they may stem from insecurity or manipulation. Some individuals use mixed signals intentionally to keep you emotionally hooked, ensuring that you remain interested and invested even when they aren't fully committed. This behavior can be a form of control or emotional manipulation designed to maintain power over your feelings. From a Stoic standpoint, this manipulation should not be tolerated. You deserve a relationship built on mutual respect, honesty, and clear communication. Engaging with someone who consistently gives you mixed signals can leave you feeling emotionally entangled, confused about your own feelings, and uncertain of your self-worth. Over time, this confusion can erode your confidence and self-respect. The Stoic approach is to detach from this emotional chaos, refocus on your own well-being, and prioritize relationships that offer stability, clarity, and respect. Ultimately, mixed signals indicate that someone is not fully committed to being transparent or respectful in their interactions with you. Whether they are unsure of their feelings or using mixed signals to manipulate you, this behavior is a clear red flag. The Stoic response is to recognize this manipulation for what it is, detach emotionally, and protect your inner peace. By setting boundaries and refusing to accept mixed signals, you preserve your emotional health and prevent wasting time and energy on someone who is not offering the clarity and respect you deserve. In conclusion, if a girl constantly gives you mixed signals, it's a sign that she may be playing with your emotions or isn't truly invested in the relationship. Mixed signals create confusion and emotional instability, making it difficult to know where you stand. A Stoic would recognize this behavior as disruptive to inner peace and would respond by detaching, setting boundaries, and focusing on relationships where clarity, transparency, and mutual respect prevail.